Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking this video. Today we are going to be tackling things around my apartment that I hate cleaning or disinfecting. I do these things probably every 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months for some, and I know that's probably gross, but that's the reality of it. If you enjoy cleaning, cooking, and motivational videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and let's get started. The first thing we're going to start out with is the washing machine, since this is going to take some time. As you can see, there is so much dust and gunk around the edges that people just don't really think to look at. So cleaning the machine is a two-step process for me. So the first thing I like to do is put it on the hottest cycle it can go on and then pour in some vinegar, and I honestly just eyeball how much I pour in. While the machine is filling up, I'm going to start working on my Nespresso and Keurig. With my Nespresso, I like to pull apart the tray that the used pods drop in, and as you just saw, there is coffee juice, as I like to call it, that will leak through there. Also, the tank where the water goes can get some buildup, and it just gets cloudy, and I don't like that at all. So same thing with the Keurig tank. So I'm just going to fill all of these parts up with soap and water and just let everything soak. Now we are moving back to the washing machine, since I heard it being finished filling up with the water, and I like to add baking soda and give everything a really good wipe down. And again, there are just so many little nasties that end up around the edge that you just want to make sure you clean out. To wipe down the machine, I just dipped this reusable cloth in the water mixture. I did it one time and then I never dipped it back in there again.
You are my warm place. You are my mad strike, setting ablaze. I wish we could stay, but I got other demons I need to face. You left me with a heavy heart. I'm colder than the day you met me in the dark. I feel the air around me as it starts to move. I realize I never had that much to lose.
Now get ready to be grossed out in 3, 2, 1. I know. But I bet if you took a look at your machine, it would look like this too, so do not judge. I am just going to wipe this part out as much as I can and put vinegar in the center of this mess we have going on. And at this point, the machine goes on the cycle where it starts to agitate, and I let it run and do its thing until it's finished. The coffee parts have been soaking, so now I'm just going to give them a good wash and then set them aside.
You are my warm place. You are my mad strike.
I know there's a lot of back and forth between the coffee and the washing machine, but that was the reality of how I did this. But this is the last thing. I ran another cycle of hot water and poured the bleach in to let it work its magic. And once the cycle was done, I kept the lid open to let it air dry, and it looks so good, and it just made me feel so much better about washing my clothes. I mean, look at this. It just looks so nice and sparkling clean. We are now in the home stretch of cleaning the coffee machine and all of its parts, and this is the section of the process that was the most time consuming to me. Before I put all of the pieces back together, I like to give the machines a good wipe down, and I am starting off with the Keurig. What I did was filled it halfway with water and the other half with vinegar. I do not recommend filling half of it with vinegar though, because let me tell you, it probably took about 20 to 30 cycles of running just water through this to get the vinegar out. At one point I thought it was out, and I went to make my coffee and I noticed my milk looked weird, but I still went ahead and took a sip, and that was a huge mistake. Clearly vinegar was still lingering around, so I had to run a lot more cycles of plain water for it to be fine. All is well now, but my point is just do half a cup of vinegar. It really does help to clean it out. I feel like I was really passionate about that vinegar, but now for my Nespresso, I just do plain water to clean it out, so everything should be fine here. If you push both of the buttons at the top of the machine together and hold them down for a few seconds, they'll start to blink, and then you can press the button for the bigger cup of coffee, and it automatically just drains out all of the water that is in the tank. That was something new that I learned, so I'm just sharing that. And having it over my sink was the easiest way for me to do this. So once all of the water in the tank was gone, I filled the tank back up a few more times, and I just kept doing this process. I would say probably about 10 times, and yeah, it seemed to have worked. The machines are all cleaned and filled with fresh water, ready to go now. So we are moving on to the dishwasher, which is something I use as a drying rack. So I know it's important every now and again to run a cycle. I'm going to remove the bottom rack and add some baking soda and vinegar to make a little concoction to scrub the inside, and remove the filter, which I didn't even really know was a thing, to be honest, but I'm removing that to rinse it out. And then to the top rack, I like to put vinegar in a bowl or cup, and then I will just grab a little dishwasher pod and let it run on the heavy and sanitize cycle. The next cleaning project we're moving on to are the ceiling fans. These hold so much dust, as you can see, and I turn this on every day, so it definitely contributes to my allergies. And I'm just going to take one swipe from one of the blades on the fan, and you'll see how much dust came just from this one swipe. It's actually gross. So again, I try to do this every 3 to 6 months, but because I hate cleaning this, although it's not time consuming now that I'm really thinking about it, but I just hate cleaning it, it helps with the overall air circulation, so definitely have to start doing this more. Moving on to my blinds, you can see there is all kinds of stuff on there that gets collected, and the easiest way for me to remove this is using a Swiffer dry cloth. I typically will use one for each section, and you'll see after a few swipes it removes most of the buildup. This is just from one section of my blinds, and I have them all over my apartment. Once I finish with the cloth, I will go in with my duster to get the high parts, and I'll go over the blinds one good time. And I'm just going to do this throughout the whole apartment. So again, it helps with the air circulation, and of course it helps with my allergies. We are going outside for the last and final thing that we are cleaning that I really don't do as often as I should, and these are my balcony chairs. These chairs and cushions and pillows stay out here 24/7, and I really should be wiping them down at least once a month, but right now it's more like twice a year. So I'm just taking a sponge with some spray to have it look better, and I'm just wiping down all of the cushions and pillows as well.
Something more, we won't forget your names. The tide is high, say goodbye, we set it sail, and all those midnight secrets told, we'll take them to the grave. So when I'm gone, oh when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. Close to the sun.
I am going to continue wiping everything down, and the end result looks so good. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye!